Hi, welcome to Watcher DM. I'm Gabriel. Today I am doing the video about the Cairn Warden's Guide, Second Edition. In this video, I'll be going over the forest seeds section of the book. So we're just going to go ahead and go straight into forest seeds here. And yeah, we're going to generate a forest seed. So let's dive right into it. All right. Forest seeds. And we'll do a little reading. Forest crawls. A forest crawl is a simple method for exploring a large forested area, typically made up of branching trails connecting scattered points of interest. While a forest crawl has some of the same properties as a traditional dungeon delve, it swaps stone walls and ceilings for the dense, non-linear design of a heavily wooded area. Instead of rooms, points of interest are defined as clearings or major changes in the forested landscape. However, unlike exploring a dungeon, characters can take shortcuts, go off trail, or climb trees to get a better look around, with a cost, of course. Exploring the wood. Follow the dungeon exploration procedures found in the player's guide, but rather than rolling for dungeon events, use the wilderness events table instead. If the party attempts to step off the trail and cut through the forest, the warden should make any associated costs clear, added travel time, effort, special tools that may be required, and any obvious dangers. Going off trail also automatically triggers a roll on the wilderness events table. Points in a forest crawl are close to each other. When traveling on clearly marked trails, a small forest, 10 to 15 points of interest, can be explored in a single watch. Rely on the fiction and common sense to determine how much daylight is available, whether a suitable area is available for rest, and what the costs or dangers the forest may contain in the darkness. Creating a forest. Follow the procedures for any forested terrain in a region. If a conflict or interesting pattern emerges, be open to restarting or modifying any earlier results. Going forward, we'll refer to the sheet of paper as the map. As with any other rule, if you don't like a table result, roll again and tweak as desired. So materials needed for this, you'll need a sheet of paper and a notebook, letter A4 is fine, pencils and erasers, colored pencils or crayons are good too, at least 1d6 and 1d20, but 6d6 and 2d20 would be ideal. And then the overview of the procedure is to describe a forest, describe the spirit of the forest, create the forest's points of interest, and create the forest's trails, and then create the forest encounters, and then name the forest. Now, in this video, we are going to just cover items 1 and 2, and then in the next video, I'll go ahead and bust out my map making stuff, and we will do a full forest generation based on that the seeds that we're generating today. So, forest description. Roll in the forest description and write the results in your notebook. Our notebook is here, ready to go. This table both indicates how outsiders perceive the forest, as well as any unique natural features it may have. If the forested terrain was generated using the method described in the setting seeds chapter, consider how the associated landmarks affects it as well. Landmarks help travelers navigate through the dense foliage, acting as a geographic reference point, usually tall trees, watchtowers, and so on. Most forest landmarks are visible only by climbing a tree, though a few are large enough to stand out from the green. Some landmarks are harder rather than seen, or are heard rather than seen. Heard rather than seen, that's interesting. A heard landmark, like a waterfall, for instance. So if we look at our region map here, I think all of our forest is over here. So this is probably our forest is around this lake. And I could imagine this waterfall kind of being, the ravine head here is definitely a landmark. That's interesting. Okay, so let's generate some values here. Except that apparently I have done that wrong. There we go. All right, so description, we got an 11, which is petrified. Okay, petrified forest. And then our second description, we got a 13, which is mossy. And then, so I think, yeah, it could also be, this could be infested, and this could be primeval, right? Primeval. So do we like primeval infested forest or a petrified mossy forest? I think petrified mossy forest is a little more interesting, so we'll probably stick with that. But this is kind of a way you can take a couple of tables, take a couple of rolls, and flip them around a little bit to just see what your options are from the defaults that are provided. The spirit of the forest. In some ways, the wood is a single entity, its brain alive within every tree and plant, connected via a network of thorn and branch. The animals and plants are its limbs, directing its wants, desires, fears, and needs. The creatures that live within its boundaries are its blood, answering its call by delivering much-needed defenses and rebuffing interlopers. The wood will always protect itself and its children. Roll in the traits and forest agenda tables, writing the results in your notebook. This describes the general attitude of the creatures found in the forest, as well as what the forest wants as a whole. So let's go ahead and pop these dice again. All right, we got 2 and 19. So virtues, and in fact, I'm going to say forest spirit. The virtues here are, we got a 2, which is balanced. And vices, we got a 19, which is selfish. Interesting. And then if we were to swap those, the 19 virtues would be stable, and this should be stable, and 2 vices should be aloof. Stable and aloof doesn't really make any sense to me, but balanced and selfish, I think, is fine. And then we'll go ahead and say forest agenda and the goal and the obstacle. And we'll roll again. An 18 and a 17. So 18, 17. So 18 on the goal is rebirth, and on the obstacle is turmoil. So let's say rebirth / turmoil. And then 17 is purification / stasis. I like rebirth and stasis. I think that's the combo, right? Which is the default. I think that's what I rolled. 18 is rebirth, stasis is so a petrified forest, desperate to be reborn, but is locked in stasis because it is, petrified. Interesting. All right, cool. Well, that is the beginning of our Dungeon Seeds exploration. In the next video, I'm going to go ahead and we'll create the different points of interest using the drop table method. I've got a digital setup for that, so we can explore that, and we'll do some more fiddling around. If you like this video, I hope you'll hit the like button. If you'd like to see more of them, you should subscribe, and if you'd like to be notified when they come out, you can hit the bell icon. Also, if you'd like to get early access to this and my other videos, as well as daily drops from me of drawing and writing exercises, you can go to patreon.com/watcherdm and sign up for like $2 or whatever. Or you can join for free. I drop some stuff for free. I think every 8 days I try and push one of my posts out to everybody. And yeah, I hope to see you there. I hope you like hanging out, and thanks a lot for supporting. See you soon.